Hi there, how are you doing? I hope you've had a good couple of weeks. Mine have been great with quite a bit going on. I managed a celebrity spot on the train into London the other day. Now, to be fair, I already knew that this particular person lived in this certain location, so I was always keeping an eye out for them every time I stopped at their station. So, statistically, it was bound to happen eventually, and it did one morning last week. I was just sat there in my seat minding my own business when the unmistakable figure of Robert Lindsay walked past and took a seat slightly further down the carriage and facing me. I was close enough to hear the full conversation he was having with his friend with that wonderful and very distinctive voice that he has. So I am well up to date on his latest projects and immediate plans. He is a truly great all-round performer. He can do it all: act, sing, dance, the lot. Most recently, he has been starring in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels in the West End. In the 80s, I remember he starred in the musical Me and My Girl when it was in London. Then he actually went with the show when it transferred to Broadway. In that show, he does do an amazing version of the Lambeth Walk, which is well worth checking out. He seemed like a really nice, friendly and approachable gentleman, so hopefully it will not be long before he is back on our television screens once again. A few Saturdays ago, I went and saw my mate Andy Holmes perform in the Harold Pinter play Betrayal at the Queen's Park Arts Centre in Aylesbury. If you're already familiar with it, you will know that it has three main roles, one of which he was playing. Now, it's always slightly odd, I find, seeing a friend performing on stage. You want to enjoy the show, but you're also just rooting for it to go really well for them at the same time. I have now seen him in a couple of things before, but this was possibly the most dramatic piece that I have personally witnessed him in. I really enjoyed it. I thought the whole cast were great, and I know from speaking to Andy the time and effort they'd all put into it to make it work, which I think did show in the performance. He did have a couple of kissing scenes in it. In the fairly busy bar afterwards, he made the mistake of asking me what I had thought of his love scenes, to which I replied, well, that is the most action you've had in ages. He did tell me later that the actress who he had to kiss actually had her husband in watching that night. Now, I am no actor, but that has to be a little bit awkward, surely. It was a lovely fun way to spend the evening, and congratulations to everyone involved with the production. After seeing the play, I then went to a pub in Aylesbury for a quick 40th birthday drink with someone I have known for about 20 years now. His name is Colin Morton. We met when I joined Stoke Mandeville Hospital Radio. This is how and why I decided to join. It was while I was in my final year of a leisure and tourism course at Aylesbury College that I really developed an interest in radio. Mix 96 had recently launched in Aylesbury, so I wrote to them and managed to get a week's work experience there. It was while I was there during that week that someone suggested that I join the local hospital radio. So I did. Colin was already there and had his own show. You start out as a producer gathering requests from the wards, then you get trained on the equipment and hopefully get your own show, all of which I did. Colin then got a job at Mix 96, hosting the evening show and the Saturday sports show. I have to thank him really for getting me involved in the sports show, as I think he suggested me when they needed someone to come in and ring up all the local football clubs to get the scores, and then also to read them out at half-time and full-time. And the rest, as they say, is history. That is what really gave me my break in radio, if you like. So it was great to see Colin and Andrew Duffy, who was also there, for a nice catch-up and to have a bit of a chat about the old times. I am still doing quite a bit of work at Wembley Stadium. I was there taking some people around on behalf of the Football Association before the FA Trophy final between North Ferriby United and Wrexham. I was taking a select group of North Ferriby fans round. It's always great to be there on a match day, walking through the mix zone, being in the players' tunnel and then going pitchside. You can really feel the excitement of the occasion building up around you. It was a cracking game as well, with the underdogs winning 5-4 on penalties after a 3-3 draw in extra time. So well done to North Ferriby United. I like to think my tour was a lucky charm for them. I think some special praise needs to go to the Wembley ground staff too. On the Friday night, England played Lithuania there. Then on the Saturday, a rugby union game between Saracens and Harlequins took place, and then the FA Trophy final was there on the Sunday. The pitch looked perfect and there was not even any trace of the rugby pitch markings from the day before. It's always good to do new things in life and experience things for the first time, so last week I went for my first ever crown fitting at the dentist. This was required because I've had a root canal treatment, and apparently to protect the tooth you need a crown on it. So to make sure that the finished crown fits, they have to take impressions of your teeth. I have to confess, I didn't find that process much fun, and it doesn't leave a very pleasant taste in your mouth at the end. It seemed to me like she took an impression of all my teeth, not just the one required. So I am now slightly concerned she may be worried that all my teeth may be falling apart and that she'll have to replace them all. I have a temporary one on at the minute, with the proper one due to be fitted in a week or so. So wish me luck. On Good Friday, I went with my mum to see Wycombe Wanderers play at Oxford United in League 2. Now, as a teenager, I was for a couple of years a season ticket holder at Wycombe. I also briefly played for their under-16 side, and I did have a trial game for their youth team. However, I didn't get selected. Instead, I went and played for 2 years in the Aylesbury United youth team. Funnily enough, my first game for them was a 1-0 win against the Wycombe Wanderers youth team in Beaconsfield. The Wycombe-Oxford game was pretty poor for the home side, especially in the first half, but they did battle back and make a fight of it in the second. Although, ultimately, it was in the end a very disappointing result for the team who are currently chasing promotion. Plus, let's face it, no one likes losing to their local rivals. Before the game, I managed to catch up with a couple of people I know. Firstly, Daniel Freeman, who was there to report on the game for Sky Sports, and my good friend Nathan Cooper, who was there covering the match for BBC Radio Oxford. Strangely, the three of us have all previously worked on a game together before. When I was working at Ivell FM in Somerset, Yeovil Town, then managed by Russell Slade, got to the League One playoff final at the then newly built Wembley Stadium in 2007 against Blackpool. We managed to get full commentary rights to broadcast the whole game live on the radio. To do that, we needed to get two excellent commentators to help us. Now, I already knew Daniel and Nathan, and luckily they were well up for getting involved. So the three of us produced a full show from the National Stadium, with Daniel and Nathan as the two commentators and me operating as the co-commentator for both of them, while presenting the show before and after the game. It was a busy but fun day, and I thought we did a brilliant job covering the occasion. So it was great to see them both at Wycombe, and good to see them still doing an excellent job reporting on football matches and bringing them to life on the radio and television. Last Saturday, it was the final show in the current series of the brilliant Anton Deck's Saturday Night Takeaway. Once again, there was nothing missing from the programme or the series. In my opinion, it has taken all the best bits from about 20 different big Saturday night television shows from the past and put them all into one show in handy bite-sized sections. But it all works so well and is great family entertainment. This weekend, we were still able to see the Geordie boys on our screens as the new series of Britain's Got Talent got underway. And if the first instalment was anything like the London audition show I went to see, we're in for a crazy time this year. Throughout the series, there will be acts that take your breath away and leave you feeling like that is the best thing you've ever seen. And then on the other side of the scale, there will be performances that will make you cringe and even cause you to cover your eyes and your ears so you don't have to witness it. I don't know if it was just the session I was at, but Simon Cowell seemed a lot nicer and more compassionate in his critique. So I'm not totally sure if he was just in a really good mood that day, or if becoming a father has seen him mellow just a little bit. I reckon we will know for sure if this is the case or not by the final at least. The audition shows are always bonkers and give Ant and Dec plenty of comical moments to enjoy. So good luck to all involved with it, and let's hope for a worthy winner this year. I had a really nice Easter weekend which did involve eating quite a bit of chocolate, but life is all about balance and give and take, so I did actually go for a morning run on Good Friday and Easter Monday. To be fair, that was not only to work off the sweets I had consumed, I did manage to have a few drinks with mates too, so these calories had to be dealt with and burned off. I met one of my friends in Marlow, which is always a place I really enjoy going to, especially in the summer, normally for a nice long walk along the river there. It's a really nice and relaxed place to meet people and have a good chat and a nice catch up. And it does of course boast the Hand and Flowers pub, which has 2 Michelin stars and is run by top chef Tom Kerridge. So I've been away in Liverpool this weekend for the Grand National Race meeting. I love that city and always really enjoy spending time there. I came up for the festival about 5 years ago and had a brilliant day out at Aintree for Ladies' Day. It's an amazing experience. Everybody really dresses up and just has a top time. This time, I'm just up there and enjoying the partying after the racing. The place is just packed out in the evenings with either people celebrating wins or drowning their sorrows if they've lost. For sheer atmosphere alone, watching the Grand National in a packed pub in the centre of Liverpool is only second to actually being stood there on the course at Aintree itself. I'll talk more, of course, about my time in Liverpool next time we speak. Have fun, and we'll catch up again in a couple of weeks. Cheers!